Good afternoon, John.
Hey, Mr. Lopez, good to see you again.
Great. Great to see you again. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. Thanks for joining.
No. It's for me. It's a pleasure. You see your picture on the screen?
I do, yes.
Okay, perfect. This is the configuration that you have in your boat. Is working right now. The Victor
No.
configuration.
So the batteries and the AC panel and the DC panel and the multiplus and the links distributor and the smart shunt, those are all working. The solar I'm planning now. So
Okay.
I'm thinking I've got room for these two 100-watt flexible panels.
Yeah, correct.
That's what I'm going to start with. And I looked at some of the Victron diagrams and some other things I saw online. And so this is kind of what I pieced together, but I wanted to run it past you to think just to make sure that it looks valid and I'm doing this smart.
That's great. I like your configuration. I think that is good. You have no, you don't need a DC to DC converter because your system is 12 volts, no?
My system is 12 volts. Yeah,
Correct. And your DC panel is also 12 volts.
correct.
Okay, great.
I think I will get a DC to DC charger on my next phase, which will be adding the alternator charging to the lithium batteries.
That's great. The alternator. And what type of engine you have in your boat?
It's a Yanmar 53 horsepower.
Okay, and you want to install a Belmar alternator?
No, there's an alternator on the engine that came with the engine. I was just going to use that, but that's next phase after I get the solar running.
Okay, perfect. And for the solar, you want to install in between the solar and the MPPT, the thermal breaker, no?
I guess so. Is the reason behind that so that if the sun is out and I don't want electricity because I'm maybe going to work on something, I just turn off the breakers?
That's correct. This is a great idea.
And is it, I mean, I'm curious about that because if I add a wind generator at some point, it seems like if it's dangerous, if it spins and you don't, is it safe if it's just opened by the circuit breaker? Or is it generating electricity that's going to burn up something between the circuit breaker and the wind generator?
No.
Okay. So it's the solar panels could be making electricity, but if I open up that circuit breaker, it's just like electricity in the outlet. It doesn't fall onto the ground or anything. So
yeah,
all right.
That's correct.
Okay, good.
That's correct. And you don't have in your boat a generator, no?
No, I don't. No, it's a 39-foot sailboat, so tight on space.
Okay, perfect. You only have maybe in the future?
Maybe in the future.
Okay, great. Because will be a great idea included the generator because you live in the boat, no?
Yes.
Okay, and okay, if you live in the boat, the generator will be a great great addition because depending of the day, if the day is not a sunny day, the generator is important. Remember that I have experience with other boats. The solar panels, depending of the hour and depending of the shade, they don't work at 100% of efficiency. They work around 70%, 80% of efficiency. No.
Okay. So is that a good safe ballpark number? 70%?
Yeah.
If I estimate.
Yeah.
So if it's a 100-watt panel, I can expect maybe about 160 watts per day on a good day.
Correct. 100. Try to keep in mind 150.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
It's very important because there are different reasons, different situation during the day. Each day is different.
Yeah. If right now I'm at a dock that I like, but if I someday go off the grid, a generator, I think, would be necessary, especially for running air conditioning.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. And in that moment, when you included the generator, I recommend that you install an intelligent AC switch selector. The switch selector doesn't matter which power is producing power, shore power or generator. The switch selector send power to the input of the multiplex inverter, the Victron. It's necessary install that switch selector in the future.
Okay.
If you want it in the future, I can help you to do the wiring of that.
Yes, yeah. I'll probably have a conversation with you like this when I figure out how I'm going to do the alternator too.
Correct.
So each stage to just have you review it.
Correct.
Okay, so if we start out with the 100-watt panels, and I put those in series, and
That's
then
correct.
I have those wires going, and those wires are specific type that come with the panel, right? And they have a specific type plug on the end, but
Correct.
I cut off those ends and just feed them into a circuit breaker.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then the circuit breaker, I need to have the right gauge going from circuit breaker to MPPT.
Number 8 will be nice. Number 8.
I think that's the largest the MPPT will accept. So
yeah.
All right. But, number 8.
How much is the distance in between the breaker and the MPPT?
I'm just going to say I'm going to use a number of 10 feet for now. 10 I don't feet? Really know yet. I haven't figured that out, but
number 8 is good. I was thinking yesterday about that, and I put in my evaluation 12 feet, and with 12 feet the gauge will be number 8. Okay,
and then so then it goes into the MPPT, and electricity comes out, and I don't understand why they put a thermal breaker in there at all, but that's just one Victron. Who knows what application or where they were putting that diagram? But
yeah,
you say it's not necessary.
It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory.
It's a probably good idea if you're selling those things.
Correct.
They put it in there.
I prefer install the thermal breaker because if in the future you need apply for some warranty of one of the equipments, if you have the thermal breaker, they replace the part immediately. They don't have any inconvenience.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you think it's a good idea that I put it in then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, John.
I have a 300 amp fuse.
Excuse me. You have a 300 amps. Where is the fuse?
That's the right side.
You are talking about this fuse.
You can't see my point. The fuse.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And the flow of amps that you have in the positive is in between 200 and 800 amps per hour. Okay. All right. And what is your question? If 300 is good?
Yeah. What are the factors that you would use to determine that fuse size?
Okay. Normally, the recommendation is if you have the capacity of that battery bank 800 amps per hour, the recommendation for the fuse should be minimum half of the capacity. In that case, 400 amps per hour. Yeah.
So I've got 300 amp fuse, and so far it hasn't blown, but I should probably put a 400 in there.
400. Normally, I recommend, if it's possible, half plus 10%. In that case, 500.
Okay.
All
right. Good. Yeah. So, and then the links distributor will get voltage coming in from the solar panels, and it'll get voltage coming in from the multiplus.
Correct. Let me mark this. You have a negative here, And also you have a positive here. This is coming from the from the MPPT. Okay, and also you have another positive here passing through the switch and entering here. And also you have a negative here passing through the shunt. Correct. And you have a different outputs, no? Okay, and you have a black here. You have another black here, and also you have a red here, and also you have another red here entering in the multiplex. It's okay? It's okay? All right.
Okay, you're saying it's good?
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfect. It's perfect.
How does the system know when the batteries are full? How does the MPPT and the multiplus work together to charge the batteries safely?
How they know? Okay, I don't see in this configuration. You don't have the servo GX, no? You don't have the servo GX box.
I do.
You have it?
Yep, and it's connected to the smart shunt and to the multiplus.
Perfect. Okay, the servo is the genius of the system. And the servo is the element that controls the charge of the battery bank, and is the element that send continue power coming in into the multiplex.